Hello there, my name is Ben. For the past, this past year, I've been working on an idea for a Renpy visual novel dungeon crawling RPG, which I know sounds like a mouthful. Back in April, I posted a video showing off my first attempt at it, and it actually turned out pretty good. The basic function was that it had three main layers: the forward layer, the middle layer, and the rear layer, along with a separate layer, a secret fourth layer hidden behind here. And I would use a pseudo zoom function in order to create the illusion of movement, as you can see here. I have to admit, this turned out pretty cool, and actually turned a few heads. So, what I ran into, though, is that unfortunately, even using a zoom function, it has I'm sorry, this is my first time actually talking to the camera, and I'll probably stumble around my words, and if I run out, if I can't figure out what to say, I'll just pause the video so there's no dead air. But the issue is that while this can scale well with just one layer, if I wanted to create a room that was bigger than a hallway, the scaling just wouldn't add up. And no matter how I squashed it with X size or Y size, it just wouldn't look correct. So this level of zooming, it works well for hallways, but unfortunately, it's not really what I was hoping it would work with. However, learning more in the past 2 months, trying to figure out how to approach this, I started reworking the code, and I think I finally figured out a way to make it so I can finally create rooms bigger than a hallway. So far, I've found a way to create a 3x3 room rather than just a one-tile hallway. And here's how it's looking now. Quite the stark difference there. Of course, I took the time to create some assets. The walls here are really rough. And while I did the layer 1, layer 2, front layer, middle layer, rear layer previously, now I'm using traditional tiles. I've created an array here where you have tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, tile 4, tile 5, tile 6, tile 7. Now I'm not ready to get into the code yet. This is just going to be my own little secret, though I'm sure anyone who wants to figure it out can. Once I get more started, I'd be happy to share the code, but for now I just want to show off what I'm going. So originally it was just going to be bop, 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 you press forward, it's the immediate screen. But utilizing that zoom function that I recently discovered, I figured out that I could keep there would be a back layer that would remain static. That's the area I'm moving to, while the front layer, the current tile that I'm standing on, could zoom out, and it'll create that illusion of movement without putting too much on it. For example, here's how it's looking so far. Whoops. Oh, shoot. So here's how it's looking so far. It's quick, precise. It's still kind of just going room for room, but it still creates that pseudo illusion of movement. I feel that it gives it a kick. And not only have I figured out how to do forward movement, but I can do strafing left and right. I admit the strafing's still a little rough, and I think it's just going to need a little more fine-tuning. On that though, I'm really happy with how this is looking. This took a while to figure out, a lot of trial and error, and just finding something that I'm satisfied with. I have to admit, I'm very satisfied with this. So, with this here, I feel that I can finally start going forward, making some proper tiles. And I'm sorry, I'm just having a lot of fun here. Slide to the left, slide to the right, slide to the left. I haven't finished. All I've got is this 3-tile room right now. As you can see, again, using the 7 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, to create that illusion of a bigger room as opposed to just, say, a hallway like this, as I did with the previous game here. As you can see, I admit, I do think this looks cool, but oh shoot, I've lost my sense of direction. While I do think this looks cool, I am happier with this because now I can create 3x3 rooms, or I could create a 6x6 room, because I don't want the rooms to be too big, otherwise you get lost in the darkness. Really, the whole beginning challenge for this was just trying to figure out how can I make shining in the darkness in Renpy, and I think I'm finally one step closer to that. Anyway, that wraps up everything I've got to show for this. Hopefully I'll have more of this dungeon complete down this hallway here. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.